What's the matter? Okay. Keep me posted. All right, thanks. Hey. Okay, cool. Thanks. Good Friday morning, everyone. It is time for First Alert Weather Extra. I'm First Alert Meteorologist Jill Gilardi here, and boy, do we have a lot to talk about, of course. We have a half of the state winter storm, the other half, not so much yet. But we've seen changes in the past 24 hours, and actually less than that. The storm track has shifted a little bit farther north, so that put more snow across our state. We had to up the totals. The highest still is especially across the western part of our state. And the storm timing, though, in the cold temps, that hasn't changed. So that's the only thing that hasn't changed. So we have definitely expanded the snow and upped the amounts from yesterday and a little bit higher today. All right. So snow begins anytime between 7 and 9 p.m. from west to east across our state. Heaviest through about 1 o'clock. Snowfall rates could exceed 1 inch per hour, maybe as high as 2. And so it's going to pile up very quickly. Roads are going to quickly become slick tonight. Now, heading into tomorrow, the snow's going to taper off very quickly, but you're going to a lot to clean up. Okay, so that's why it's a First Alert Weather Day. Right now, it's 5 to 8 inches we're going with still to the west. Could there be a locally higher amount, 9, 10? Not out of the question by any means. The fluff factor really has to do with it all. So We are talking about really cold air. It can really pile up quickly, but if you were to melt it down, it doesn't amount to as too much. Now, if it was, 32 degrees with this, snow coming down, these numbers probably wouldn't be quite as high. But we have that range 3 to 6 now across central Connecticut and 2 to 5 instead of 1 to 3 across the eastern half. So these numbers continue to creep upwards as that new data comes in. So we get a better sample of the storm as we get closer to the event. That's why you see so many changes. Days out, the storm hadn't even formed or barely was in the United States. So you're not going to get a good sample of the current state of the atmosphere to go into the models. But now you're getting a better sample of the atmosphere as it's actually forming. So in terms of impacts, it's a fluffy snow, so it's easy to remove, but certainly going to definitely create slick travel conditions. Going to be plowable, but no outages, so that's a plus there. All right, here we go. There it is, so taking shape now across the Great Lakes region, Ohio River Valley. So the atmosphere will continue to moisten up, and then the snow will break out. But remember, it's moving into some very cold air, so it's going to stack up quickly, come down at a pretty quick rate as well. Starting to reach around the ground around 6, probably take until maybe 7 o'clock. We'll be encountering some very dry air at first. The low levels will have to saturate in order for that snow to reach the ground, but that will happen no later than 7. And then the whole state's seeing snow through 9, but it's locally heavy. Remember, 1-2 inch snowfall rates per hour. And so it's going to come down pretty quickly tonight through midnight, 1 o'clock. That's the main time frame for those higher snowfall rates. And the heaviest snow will occur then because it will start to really break up in coverage by 5-6 o'clock in the morning. It's done with. So here's the amounts. We made some subtle adjustments. We're talking about 2 to 5 inches across the eastern part of the state, 3 to 6 central, and about 5 to 8 across western Connecticut. So that's the way it's looking right now. And if we need to make any other changes, we will. Otherwise, don't expect too much of a change. Now, there's been talk. It's been close. The criteria are being met for a winter storm warning, Hartford County. For right now, though, it's winter weather advisory, and it has been expanded farther east. We have not named this yet. We need for most of the state to get at least 6 inches of snow or half an inch or half an inch of ice accretion. So, yeah, we're close, but one half of the state will get that winter storm. Feeling very cold out there this morning, and then it gets a little better as we get into the evening. Here comes the snow overnight tonight. Then we're watching another system for Sunday in the evening, especially at night. Could start as a wintry mix. And then you could be talking about some freezing rain briefly, too, before flipping over to all rain as all levels of the atmosphere warms up above freezing. The 8 to 14-day outlook is trending cooler than average. And then beyond that, does not show anything above average in terms of precipitation. First alert 7-day, we get the snow at night, tapering off very quickly tomorrow morning. Then it's cold, mostly cloudy. We're looking at temperatures warming up eventually above freezing late Sunday. A mix to rain and breezy Monday. And then we'll have the wind with us on Tuesday. Very cold air filters in, but dry, just chilly to end 2025 and begin 2026. Can you believe it? All right, everyone. That's your latest First Alert Weather Extra. We're going to have another one coming up at 9:30 tonight with Tyler Hughes. Have a great rest of your day. Keep up with the storm on the go and any different alerts that could pop up through the First Alert Weather app. We'll see you later.